Okay. Now I'm going to explain today. The class is being conducted over that is CSS. Okay. CSS means cascading style sheets. So as I told you that when we were discussing about JavaScript, that moment I told you that. So if anybody wants to become the developer, web developer, so if he wants to create his website and that website will hold a lot of web pages, so he must be familiar with three languages, that is HTML, hypertext markup language, CSS, cascading style sheets, and JavaScript, okay, to develop the website for web pages. Okay, so a web page is nothing but it is the electronic sheet which will consist of a lot of information. Huh? So I told you that I also told you that HTML, CSS, JavaScript, these three will be part of your front end development. So front end development. Suppose if anybody wants to become full stack developer, some students have asked me that. So suppose that if I want to become the full stack developer, which type of knowledge should I have? So that moment I told you that. So a full stack developer is such a person who has the knowledge to develop the front end development. Uh, for that, he must be having knowledge over HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and JavaScript some frameworks: JavaScript, Angular, React, Vue.js, Node.js, like that. Okay, and CSS has also one framework that is worldwide Bootstrap. I think Bootstrap is a framework. So then after you should have knowledge towards the server side programming. So server side, these three will be HTML, CSS, JavaScript. They we can simply call that client side programming, otherwise front end developments. For backend means server side. That moment you should have knowledge in Java and Python, such languages, and somewhat libraries of Java like frameworks, Spring and Spring Boot. For Python, some libraries like what Django, Flask, like what. Okay. So in the part of JavaScript, I was discussing. I was discussing at the time of JavaScript. I told you that JavaScript code will be inserted in where HTML in HTML code, JavaScript code will be inserted in tags, the script start tag and script end tag. Okay, I have briefed. Today we will try to understand CSS also. So parallelly, we will try to understand one day HTML, one day JavaScript, and one day CSS. So let us try to understand CSS. The acronym for CSS is the cascading style sheet. So it is a language. So use it to style an HTML document. So I already told you the document how the structure of HTML document. Initially doc type declaration HTML. So one HTML document will be declared. Within that, sections will be there. Means different elements. Okay, every element consists of somewhat content. So this CSS will be used. It is a language which will be used to style HTML document. The HTML document, how it looks, its background color, its heading color is what, paragraph color is what, font size is what, background color. So this is called styling of an web page. So CSS describes how HTML elements. In the previous session and HTML, I have briefed that so many the HTML document, it has lot of elements. Okay, the body element, that is root element is the HTML is the root element, then body element, somewhere paragraph element, heading element, like what. Okay, so let us now come to the point. So within this, we will study a lot of things here. Suppose this is somewhat example here. I told you that so body background color. So web page background color. Okay. The background color is what light blue. So this is a syntax what you know. Okay, body under the body. So background color light blue under the H1. H1 is what here body is a selector and H1 is also a selector. Within this these are the color is some attribute, the value background color is the attribute and the value. So for this color for what H1 means header section, header element color white, text align center. Okay. Next is what this is for what P means paragraph, paragraph font, font is Vardhana and font size 20 px. Okay. So somewhat this is somewhat if we try it yourself. So here as I told you that this is the web online web editor. Within this online web editor we can edit the code and we can see the results very fast. That moment no need of any IDE to write the code, integrated development environment. Here on in the online web editor we can write the code. We need not to write the code, already code will be there, and if you want to change somewhat modifications we can do it here. Okay, you see this is the HTML as I told you, the declaration doc type is doc type HTML. This is the declaration, document declaration, HTML document declaration. Then after this is called HTML element, root element. This is the starting. I told you that every element has a start tag and end tag. HTML root element with the start tag. Next head element with the start tag. So finally the tag will be closed with the end tag. Then style. Here cascading style sheets. Here from here your CSS code will be started here. Under the style, under the body, this is the attribute, a body background color and light blue. So this is the part of your CSS code. Then after H1, H1 is what for the header. Header color is what color white, text align means header whatever the text headers content that would be kept in center. Okay. Next, this is for paragraph. Paragraph font is what Vardhana and font size 20. Then style is closed. This is end tag. End tag. Okay, style closed, end tag. Next, head closed. Next, body. Under the body, so normally in HTML, from here your HTML code started. This is the body. Under the body, header will be there and the paragraph. This is the content of the text of the your header. My first CSS example, under the paragraph, this is the content of the paragraph element. They will be part of your, this code is part of your HTML. But the style, whatever the style we have discussed here, that style will be part of your style tag. This is called style start tag. From here your CSS code will be started. Under the body, this is the attribute and value. Next, under the H1 color attribute, color is white for the header. This is also part of your CSS code. Under the P for the paragraph. So under the start style tag, under the end style tag, whatever the code you will write, that will be part of your CSS. CSS means cascading style sheet. Then after paragraph, okay, your style closed, head closed. Now body. Under the body, your header H1 element means header element. This is the content of the header. Under the paragraph, this is a content. Okay, paragraph name. Now, if you run this code, you can see the result like this. See here, So here, this is the result. My first CSS here, but my first CSS example you are not able to see because this is a white. So if you change that white color, where this is the white, you change this with the red. Okay, red is what? Red for what? Color red. Then after color, and color is what? Color is your attribute, and red is your value. If you run this code, what happens? See, you are my first CSS example. My first CSS is what? This is the heading, and this is the paragraph. Now, for the paragraph, if you want to change this font of paragraph, okay, fonts, if you want to change this font, you should know the font name. Otherwise, you will get the error font name. Size, if you want to change the size, 24. Now, if you run this code, your font size, this paragraph font is increased to 24. Now this font paragraph, where is your paragraph? These are what? Background color. You have written background color light blue. You change this only blue background. You run this. This is the blue color. So these are what we did here. We did means we have written the code in HTML document under the style start tag, under the style end tag. We have written the code for what? Styling of the your website. Okay, how to style how to the your web page, how it will be displayed. Okay, so these are called cascading style sheets. Okay, then after your body will be after H1 means header section, header element, then paragraph element, then your body closed, and your finally root element HTML will be closed. This is what. Now, if we go for starting, okay. Now let us come to the class. So we will go for so as I have briefed that CSS cascading style sheet, it is a language which will be used to style web page. Okay, so style the web page means background color, font size, header element, header element font, header element color. Okay, paragraph color font. So to style a web page. Okay, so what is CSS means? CSS stands for cascading style sheets. So this language describes how the HTML elements will be displayed on the screen. Okay. Next is what? So CSS saves a lot of work. It can control the layout of multiple web pages all at once. We can control the layout of multiple web pages at once. So external style sheets are stored in CSS files, external style sheets. So let us see multiple styles. How the multiple styles will be for one HTML page, means one HTML page, different multiple styles. How one HTML page will be displayed with four different styles. Okay, for every style a sheet is here. This is the style one. Okay, whenever we click on this style sheet one, we will get this style. Now if I want to change another, so whenever we click, this style is appearing here. Okay, and style sheet, whenever I want to see style sheet 3, this is the another style of the web page. If I want to see for fourth style, so at a time different style can be executed at a time. Understood that? So that moment we were discussing how one HTML page will be displayed with different style sheets. So, so for every style sheet, different. This is the styles of one website. This website is being displayed with this style. If you click on this style, you will get this. Okay, so that moment I told you that different, we can use the CSS for different styles of a web pages, a web page. Okay, so CSS now it is used to define styles for your web pages, including the design, layout, and variations in display for different devices. Okay, so now let us. This is the example as I have briefed you, and that moment. So what actually CSS? Why CSS designed this language? Why it is designed? That moment CSS solved a big problem. What do you mean of this? So that whatever the language we will use to design a website, that is called your HTML, hypertext markup language. That moment what happened? It was never intended to contain tags for formatting a web page. Suppose if you want to format your web page, if you want to style your web page with the fonts, background color, so whatever. So that moment HTML was not intended. It is not designed to contain tags to style the web page. Okay. So actually HTML was created to describe the content of a web page. HTML was not created to style the web page. So it is only created to describe the content of the web page. So that moment, the content of this is what header content, header name. Okay, this is the paragraph name. So HTML created to describe the content of the web page. So that moment, if we want to style that web page, so whenever these style tags, font, this is the font tag, sub color attributes, if they are added to the HTML document, so that moment what happened? So it was somewhat expensive. Okay, where fonts and color information they are added to every single page. So it was somewhat expensive process. So to solve this problem, the World Wide Web Consortium, W3C, W3 means World Wide Web Consortium, it started, it has created the CSS. So CSS here, cascading style sheets removed the style formatting from the HTML page. The style formatting, okay, it was removed by CSS from the HTML page. So here, for every external style sheet, okay, so whatever the style definitions you will create, whatever the style definitions you you design for any web page, so they will be stored in external .css files. So if you create uh, webs uh, four styles for a web page, if you create four styles for a web page, that every style will be saved in different .css file, that is external file. So for by external style sheet file, we can change the total look of entire website just by changing just one file. So if you create four style definitions, and whenever you change, you click on one file, the total website style will be changed just by one file. Okay, you try to understand. This is the video, and you can click on this video. You can listen how the cascading style sheets will be used to style a website. So next, come to the syntax. Let us go for next class. Otherwise, you click on here, menu bar. Under the menu bar, you can get the here. This is the menu bar. You click here, and you can go for the class also. And here, I want to discuss now syntax. The next lesson we will discuss. This is the menu bar. Here, if you click on here, you will get all the classes one by one. Otherwise, by clicking on next, you will be able to see the next class. Now, cascading style sheet syntax. Let us try to understand what is the syntax. So for CSS, CSS consists of a selector and a declaration block. Understood that? A selector and a declaration block. So let us see the syntax. Suppose H1, that is a selector, that is called selector. Within these flower braces, this is called declaration. One declaration, this is called one declaration. Every declaration will be having one attribute, means property, and a value, and one more property and value. All these properties will be separated with the semicolon. So this is one property, this is another property. Both will be separated with the semicolon. Under the one property, means one declaration, every declaration has a property and a value. Both will be separated with the column. Understood that? This is the declaration. So selector points to the HTML element. This selector, H1 selector, it will point to the HTML element. What is our HTML element? This is the selector for header. This header selector points to the HTML element of header section. Okay. So the header section, what is the color of header section? Header element, that color is blue, and font size is equal to 12. So every selector points to the HTML element. Here, this header H1 selector points to the header of the HTML element. How the HTML header element will be displayed? its color is blue, font size 12. Okay, so this is the style. So next is what the declaration block contains one or more declarations. Here we have seen two declarations separated by semicolons. Every declaration, each declaration includes a property with a name, value, property name with a value, separated by colon. Multiple CS declarations are separated with semicolons. So all these declarations blocks are surrounded by braces, curly braces. They are called flower braces. So here in this example, this P elements are what? Paragraph elements will be center aligned and with the red color. The text color is what? Red. The text color is what? Red. Next is what? If we try this code, if you are able to see this, I am zooming now. Zoom, increase the zoom so that you can able to see on the screen. So this is the syntax here under the HTML document. This is the root. HTML is the root element. Under the head element, under the head section, this is the start tag. The code is the started from HTML. Under the style, from style CSS code syntax started here under the P. Okay, so paragraph, this is the P is a selector. P is a selector. This P points to the paragraph. Okay, paragraph color is red and text aligned to what? Center. Okay, whatever the text. Next is what? Style closed, head closed. Under the body, this is the paragraph. Here if you want to change hello world, this is the content. No any exclamation mark here. Hello Vasu. If you write like this and if you run this, hello Vasu, if you want to change this is the header. So you need to, if you want to change the color for, you need to go for color. Okay, under the paragraph, color is red, you change this color as blue. If you write like this, blue. Okay, whenever you run this code, everything is being changed. Hello also blue. Okay, the paragraph color, this is the paragraph color and text align center. So now if you want to change this text align to uh, left, whenever you write, so it is shifted to left side. If you want to change this to shift to right side, you write, you run this code, will be shifted to right, like watching. Understood that? So this is called online editor, so that you can change the code. You can, as per your requirement, you can change the code. Okay. Okay. Now come down. Now here, as I told you that P is a selector. So in CSS, it points to what? HTML element. HTML which element? Paragraph element. You want to style. So color is a property, and that is what value is red. Okay. Text align for paragraph is property and center is the property value. So these are what somewhat, this is the class. This is the video. If you want to see the video class which is related with CSS syntax, you can watch this video and so that you can improve. Next, come to the next class. Next class is next chapter. Next chapter is what? Let us see next chapter. Otherwise, you simply click on here. Otherwise, you come down here. Next class, CSS selectors. A CSS selector selects the HTML element you want to style. So, by CSS selector, we can select the HTML element. Okay, so many elements we have studied. What is that elements? One is the header element, paragraph element. So whatever element you want to style, okay. So that moment we need to use the selector. If I want to style the paragraph element, I need to select that paragraph element with the selector P. So CSS selectors. Selectors are used to find or select the HTML elements which you want to style. We can divide CSS selectors into 5 categories. What are that selectors? How many CSS selectors are there? 5 categories are there. Simple selectors select elements based on name, ID, class. Okay, selector name. Suppose paragraph is what? P. P means paragraph name. So these elements select simple selectors based on name, ID, class. Next is what? So now the class is going to be terminated here. So we will meet on next month's that is what Saturday. Today is what 17th, 18th. Stop recording.